Hey, it's Brian Everson. Podcast number 2. It's all about the book. Okay, I wrote the book. It's now an audio and an ebook. So I couldn't make the audiobook myself. Nobody wants to listen to me, so I hired a really nice guy. His name is Garan, Garam. Super nice guy, and he makes me sound really good. Okay, so I hired him. The audiobook is phenomenal. I mean, the whole book is phenomenal. But yeah, okay. So this is podcast number 2. Hey, good morning. Carbonless, building sustainably. Why did I write it? Because there had to be a history lesson for everybody to go by, not just from the 70s when I started construction, but before that, that caused everything to change in 1982. So 1982 was the first oil embargo days. Things changed. Gas prices at the barrel went over $1 for the first time, and a barrel of oil went from, I think it was $30 to over $100. And so anyway, so I wrote it all in here. So by the way, this is $30. It's an audio. You got to go to carbonless.org and just scroll down under the product section until you hit audio, and then you get the audio and the ebook with it. And the reason why you get the ebook is that this has pictures in it. So to give you an idea, besides starting out, it starts out with a perpetual hot cup of coffee, right? Here's your hot cup of coffee. Does it stay hot forever? No, it doesn't. Even if you put a lid on this and you put a koozie on the outside, it's not going to stay hot forever. So how do you keep it warm or hot? How do you keep it hot? There has to be a little bit of energy. You know, the second that you take your hand, and so your hand is 98 degrees, but you want your coffee at 130, you put your hand on there, and the heat goes right into your hand, right? But if this is a cold cup of coffee, sooner or later, your hand's going to warm up the coffee and it's not going to be cold anymore. Okay, so this analogy is in here. There's a lot of them. And so I talk about the recipe. Like, what's the recipe? That's how my mom made soup, right? We all make soup differently. I want mine a little pepper, chicken noodle. I want real egg noodles. You might want something else. You might be allergic to gluten. Okay, so the second that you said something other than Campbell's soup out of the can, that became what's called a performance path. So a prescriptive path is, crack the Campbell soup can, dump it all out, and off you go. But if you want to do something different, have your own recipe, that's performance path. That's the same thing when you're building a house. I didn't take prescriptive path. I wanted performance path. But you needed to have all of the math and the metrics, and you need a piece of paper to hand to the building inspector to say that, you passed. Well, we passed. So at the end of this, you get a piece of paper from me. You could type walls, $299. I gave you 700 of them. They're all prescriptive path, all verified. They're all laid out, all perfect, the whole 9 yards. But I talk about performance path and prescriptive path in here, so you know what it is. And then I go through air changes per hour, thermal breaks, R value, U value. Why solve for the wall first? Because the wall holds up your roof, holds up the snow load, protects you from Mother Nature, and 80% of all the openings are in the wall. So the next thing is, I invented all the thermal studs products that look like this. Okay, it's a bar joist, right? So I did all that. And fiscal savings, HERS score ratings for those of you who are in HERS score areas. Lots of house stories. Balloon framing versus platform framing. So my wall right here is actually 21 feet tall. And my ceiling right there, that floor, it hangs onto the side of the wall system. So I have a complete thermal break right through the rim. And all of that is in there as well. And then we have operational carbon reduction versus embodied. What does that mean? Well, your trucks drive around the block like this, and they're adding up fuel and moisture and carbon dioxide and putting on miles. But if they go the other way around and they got to go 6 states over, that took more embodied carbon in order to get your load to where it needed to go. Well, that costs more money. So embodied carbon is extremely difficult to calculate because you never know where the truck's going to go. You don't. There's so many factors there that could change. And so I'm an operational carbon reduction guy. What does that mean? That means that I look at your monthly utility payment or your annual utility payment and I say, well, that's half of the house next door. So you can calculate your own carbon credits for 300 years. The houses will all be here in 300 years. They'll require some maintenance, but nobody's building houses to last like the end of the mortgage. So I talk about foam, because not everybody likes foam. Foam is like politics. Lumber twist, how does lumber get twisted in the first place? Affordable housing, all the patents I've been and joining the heritage. There's a lot that goes on into writing a book and to make a book. This one is a hardcover book. I made it nice and pretty so that you can put this right on your table, see, if you wanted, or you're in an office building and you need something there that's sustainable. It screams sustainability, and that's what I am. That's what I do. Sustainability. It's how I was raised. Started in 2 endowment funds for conservation, and one of them is strictly geared towards children, and that's who I am. So this is my 6-minute video on why you should buy it. You should just buy it and listen to it. It's good for everybody. It's good for kids. If you want to teach a child what it's like and what we've been through in that, it's easy reading. My fifth grader, my 9-year-old, has read my whole entire book. So I'm Brian Iverson. Go to carbonless.org and get the ebook and the audiobook from there. It's the only place you'll get it. Otherwise, if you want the paperback version or the hardcover version, you have to go to Amazon and then just type in my name, Brian Iverson. So thanks for listening, and let's go make the world a better place.